Good morning at 7:03 on this Tuesday, November 19th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Cloudy and overcast on this Tuesday, and maybe even a few sprinkles of rain, but it's still going to be a terrific day. We are glad to have you. We're glad to be on the air for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and we not only have Tracy Pope today, who is always here on these Tuesdays. She is the Director of Community Relations for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, but we have the President, Mr. Jay Hinesley, here today from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Good morning, Coleman.
Tracy, always good to see you and your smiling face, and even more important than anything, I guess, is this sheet that you bring me every week telling me which direction I need to go, which path I need to take.
We're a good team.
Okay, thank you. I think so. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well.
You want to get us started?
Sure. We have lots going on at the hospital. We're about 3 months into our transition. We became Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital on August the 1st. So our president, Jay Hinesley, is here just to update us on what changes have already happened, what we see in the future, and just our vision and mission, for the next several years here in Wilson County. We have a bright future.
All right. Well, Jay, I know we talked a little bit about when the change took place and the preparations ahead of time, and maybe some extra hours for all of you, and I would think especially for you, but you made it through, and I think from all I've heard, it was a very good, very successful transition.
It was absolutely successful. We've been having a great time ever since. The amount of energy and projects and things that are happening right now is a little bit overwhelming, to be completely honest, because we have so much going on that we're just all trying to keep it moving forward and keep our heads above water.
And then I guess we might say maybe a culmination of that is what took place on September 30th, the community relations celebration out at the Expo Center, and well attended, a lot of people.
Did you get a chance to come?
Yes, I made that one.
Well, sure. What did you think? Let me turn the mic around. What did you think, Coleman? How'd it go?
I thought the community turned out in great support for you. I thought that it was a really nice occasion. First of all, good food, good meal.
Yeah, the food was pretty good.
and then I think you got your message across. Well received.
Yeah, thank you. That was our way of saying this is different. This is new, and we wanted to celebrate with as many community members as possible. And so, the Expo Center was a great location to do that, because we had, I think, almost 400 people there. And you could really feel the energy in the room as we talked about our plans and celebrated the transition, because we just wanted to make kind of a statement that this is a different hospital, it's a different day, and that being a part of the Vanderbilt health system means something different.
Now, were you? I feel like you were pleased with the response, but was it? Can I ask it? Was it more really than you expected? Maybe.
Oh yeah, I think that we had anticipated about 350 people or so, and we ended up getting more than that. I don't remember what the final head count was, but we ended up with more people than we had anticipated. So now our folks had thought ahead, and so there was plenty of food, and they had a contingency plan, and so we were able to make sure everybody had a seat. But more people showed up, which is fantastic.
Well, and it was just a well thought out, event. Vanderbilt really came to us and said, "This is what we're thinking. What are your thoughts?" And so it was really hosted by our advisory board at the hospital, and we met with a smaller committee there and said, we just want to thank our county for supporting us up to this point, and to let them know a new day is coming, that we're different. We're going to have means to support this community. We're going to have the service lines, and we really need your support as well. And so, we just invited our community leaders, and we had a wonderful turnout. We did. I hope that you had a Vanderbilt employee at your table to make
Sure
the
did.
large event not
Yes.
seem so big. We had a specific VUMC employee that helped in this transition. They were some part of the transition to get us to Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital at a smaller table to just to ask questions and talk about, what's going on, and we wanted feedback from our community.
Yes, the lady that was out there, I'm sorry I don't remember her name, but she's from Gallatin, and we talked about the radio program that you do.
Awesome. Great.
I thought it was. Well, Jay, let me ask you, what changes have been made since August 1st?
Well, we have three very specific things that have happened since August 1st. The first one I'll mention is that we have the anesthesia services at the hospital in the OR. So if you come to the hospital and you have to have a procedure and need anesthesia, we have CRNAs and anesthesiologists from the Vanderbilt University Medical Center from downtown that are going to take care of you for that surgery. And so that is a Vanderbilt service that we have started on just after August 1st. They came in and helped us kind of rearrange our services in the OR. So that's a big deal. That's faculty and staff from Vanderbilt University Medical Center, and we're excited to be able to do that. And that's a major step in the right direction for our OR. Secondly, we are a primary stroke certified hospital, which means if you come to our facility with stroke-like symptoms, we're going to know how to take care of you and make sure that you get the best care. We partnered very early also with the Department of Neurology at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. So again, the faculty and staff are providing neurology coverage via teleneurology. So if you come to the hospital and need a neurologist as quickly as possible, we're going to get them on the line with a camera and a sophisticated system so that they can take a look at you and diagnose you. And that's become the standard of care for neurology across the country now. So Vanderbilt minds are directing your care if you come into the hospital with stroke-like symptoms.
Ed, when you think of the advancement that has been made there, and not that many years ago, that just wasn't possible, that you have somebody in Nashville actually looking at it, what is right here in Lebanon.
Yeah, the changes in telemedicine are just phenomenal. They really are phenomenal. And there's so many specialties in medicine that don't require a procedure. They don't require somebody's skill set with their hands. They require somebody's mind to really diagnose and provide guidance on a treatment plan. And so anywhere we can connect those minds to our patients, we're gonna try to do that. And the first step really was with neurology, because neurology is one of those that does not require, in most cases, does not require somebody's hands. It just requires their mind.
You got other changes you want to tell us?
Sure. The nursery, if you have a baby in our hospital, the nursery is managed by pediatricians from Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital, and that's a big deal. We're very excited about that, so I think it has elevated our nursery to a point that you can be very proud to be affiliated with the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. So that's a big deal as well, and I think that as the months and years move on, we'll find more and more services that we can provide. Vanderbilt physicians can provide coverage for.
Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much it up to this point?
I would say those are the highlights. Yeah, there's a lot happening right now, but those are the highlights that we're covering.
Okay, we got time to get into this before we take a break here. There was quite a bit of talk about the capital investment and some big figures thrown out there. What are the plans for capital investment?
I would categorize it. There's probably three different main themes there. The first is that this summer we plan to open a radiation oncology center this summer, and we announced that last time we were here. We received a CON, a certificate of need, to do that, and we have placed an order for a Halcyon linear accelerator. We will be the first in the state of Tennessee to own this unit, and it's got some additional bells and whistles and things on it that will make cancer treatment a little bit faster, maybe a little bit safer, and we're really excited about that, to be the first to purchase this equipment and have access to it in Middle Tennessee. But nobody else in Tennessee has this unit. We'll be the very first one. That's a big deal. That's about a $6 million project. We're shooting for this summer. We've already had our first construction meeting and are working towards getting that space ready.
I was wondering about the space for that.
Yep. That's a major project, but that'll also include medical oncology as well. And we're excited about being able to provide that service here in the community. The second thing we're doing is that we are installing a brand new state-of-the-art electronic medical record system that will completely connect us to all of the Vanderbilt health system. It's called Epic. And that project, it's hard for me to even say it's so expensive. It's going to be more expensive than the cancer center. Let's just put it that way. Several $1 million in equipment. That means we'll be replacing and updating all of our computers, all of our infrastructure, all of our wireless network, integrating it into all of our equipment so that if you have a study or a test, it'll auto-populate into the medical record system, and then instant access to any records in Vanderbilt Health, which, if you think about that, 2 million patient visits a year within the Vanderbilt Health System. If you touch any Vanderbilt practice, we will have access to those records at the touch of a button, and vice versa. So if you come to our facility and have the unfortunate circumstance of having to go somewhere else and need additional care, that person can see what has happened here, and that is time, and sometimes that means a lot in healthcare.
But quite expensive at the same time.
Extremely expensive. But I think that it's a signal that Vanderbilt Health does things a little bit differently than everybody else, and they invest in patient care. They invest in quality, and on this one, we're not sparing any expense.
Yeah. Okay. We need to take a break right here. Are you through with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's two big things.
Big deal. Yep.
Yes. Okay. Our program, of course, presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. President Jay Hinesley is with us, along with Tracy Pope this morning. And this is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:14. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford, and they've got the best price on a regular oil change. It's $28.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, $16.73. West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We're looking at a wreck here. Pull over to the left-hand side. Be careful. It's in a tricky spot on 40 westbound here at Spence Lane. It's already heavy coming to Hermitage Donaldson right now. Also, that traffic flow has really picked up from Franklin into Brentwood on 65 going northbound. West End at Louise. That wreck in its clearing stages there in Midtown. And it's picked up down Ellington Parkway from the top to the bottom. Get the lowest prices on most of your airline tickets. Smart Fares save you 70% off. Call 1-800-915-2644. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
It's a new day at Lebanon Health and Rehabilitation. Lebanon Health and Rehabilitation has experienced new leadership, a new atmosphere at the same location in the heart of Lebanon. Located at 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus, Lebanon Health and Rehabilitation is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. It's a new day at Lebanon Health Care and Rehabilitation.
Fresh off of this play, that big win over the Chiefs and a bye week to heal up, the Titans are back at it this Sunday against Jacksonville. Titans Countdown happens at 2 o'clock. Then voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, and Coach Dave McGinnis call Titans and Jaguars with a 3:05 kick.
Brought to you by Absolute Kubota Exmark, Bates Ford, Fakes and Hooker, Steamwell Plumbing, and the Jewelers.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
Coleman and Company here on a Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us, and our thanks to Tracy Pope and Jay Hinesley for being with us today. Jay Hinesley, president of Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and we were talking about changes that you've made since August 1st. We talked about some plans for capital investment and a couple of plans that are, one of them extremely expensive, more than you even told us.
Yeah, I don't even want to
about,
tell you how much it is.
You said, I believe, $6 million.
$6 million in the cancer center.
Right.
That's right. More than $6 million in our electronic medical record system.
Now, do you have specific equipment needs?
We do, and we've already started identifying those. Specifically in our OR, we're replacing all of the video equipment in the OR. And so we've got 8 ORs, and we've got 8 video towers, and we'll be replacing them with 4K video technology, which allows our surgeons and any surgeon that works in our facility to have the best possible view. You cannot buy anything better than 4K right now. Just like your 4K TV, you want to make sure your physician has the perfect view of whatever it is they're looking at in surgery. And so we're in the process of replacing that equipment. That's a big deal. We're evaluating a new MRI, and we have not pulled the trigger on that, but that's one that we intend to replace. And so that's a major undertaking as well.
I take it. I mean, you've had maybe the best at the time, but it doesn't stay the best, and then eventually even maybe becomes almost obsolete. You have to keep improving to be where you want to be.
That's right, and I think that there's a big case to make sure that we're able to integrate our entire system, and we could do it without integrating into Epic, but I think that to do it the right way, we want to make sure that our systems are integrated. If we can get to 100%, that's what we're going to do.
You have, I mean, you can't do this overnight, and I think any of us would understand that. But you must have you must pretty much have it on your calendar here. We do this and then this and step by step.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the one thing I've been impressed about the Vanderbilt Health System is they have a tremendous amount of resources, and they have an entire team of project managers. And we're a relatively small hospital. We've got plenty of people, and we're pretty good at project management. But we don't have anybody on our team that just does project management. And so we've been able to tap into the project management folks at Vanderbilt Health to help us keep these things going forward and make sure that we meet these milestones. Because we've set some aggressive timelines. We have a lot of these things I'm talking about. We're going to get done in the first 12 months, and we're not even 4 months through. And we've made significant progress on those issues to make sure that we get them done the first year.
Well, I hope you're able to keep one project from interfering with the other, because that has to be taken into consideration too.
Yeah, I just can't tell you I can't express to you how complex it is, because some of them overlap. You've got engineers and architects and facilities guys, and they're on the same projects, and then you've got different clinical aspects, and so you've got oncologists on one side, and then you've got radiologists, all sorts of different specialties, and all the initiatives that we're working on. So it is an incredibly complex thing.
It is, but is it? Are you able to pretty much work around this and not lose any ground, so to speak? You know what I mean. I mean,
yeah.
It's not the normal. And you're working through this to get to that goal out here.
That's right. No, it's definitely not the normal. We have a lot of late night meetings, a lot of late night emails, a lot of late night phone calls, but it's really exciting stuff. And the whole team has really rallied around this sort of the fresh start, if you will, with this company, with Vanderbilt Health, and the resources that they provide and the expertise to get some of this stuff done is just exciting, and we're thrilled.
All right, let's change the subject slightly here in respect to recruiting. What is your initial focus, and what additional specialties will we see here in Wilson County?
I don't know if you know this, but we don't have a urologist in our community. Dr. Chip Gill was a urologist a couple of years ago, and he retired, and we've not been successful at finding a urologist to join our community. But I hope that soon we will be able to say that's not true anymore. We've been recruiting for a urologist since before the transition, and I'm not going to knock on the table because it's going to mess the microphone, but knock on wood, we may have found somebody. So I'm hoping that by the end of this year or early into next year, we'll have a urologist in our community so that folks won't have to travel.
Is that a rare commodity necessarily?
Physician specialties today are becoming harder and harder to find and recruit, and urology right now is probably in the top 3 most difficult specialties to find and to recruit. So, now that we're part of the Vanderbilt Health System, it becomes a little bit easier to recruit, and we think we may have found the right person, but are working through that now.
Other than urologist, what would the other 2 maybe be?
Gastroenterology, we are working on recruitment for additional gastroenterology, interventional pain, family practice. We, of course, are going to continue to complement our anesthesia providers, and we'll continue to recruit for that program. We are looking for an interventional cardiologist at the hospital, and just lots of activity going on. So,
you've this is off of my head here, but how do you go about that? I mean, how do you advertise for a urologist, let's say, or a cardiologist, whoever?
Well, some of it's word of mouth.
Some of it's word out. How do they know you want them to come here?
Some of it's word of mouth. Sometimes we just start asking other doctors, do you know a urologist who's looking for a job? And sometimes they know. But more traditionally, what we do is we place ads on. There are specific places out there that physicians look for jobs and locations. Specifically, when they're coming out of residency and fellowship, they know where to look to find those jobs. And then oftentimes we will hire a company who will help us find them. And they do that by targeted advertisements. And oftentimes, because that's all they do, they have a vast network of physician relationships that help them find
Well, now,
physicians.
in talking to you, you seem to be really sold yourself and your family on Lebanon, and are glad you're here, and hopefully you want to stay. Is Lebanon a hard sell, and is there pros and cons, maybe?
No, I think that Lebanon's a great place to recruit to. I think that there are a large group of physicians out there who would like to have access to a city like Nashville and an urban environment. We're growing, so they know that they'll always have access to patients. But we do have a sense of community here that you're not going to get in a big city. And there are a tremendous amount of people that are looking for that type of place.
Well, I hope your recruiting is successful and soon, and that would be one thing you could mark off your list right now, anyway.
Check it off the list, hopefully, but it's too early to say that. We've still got to close the deal, but we'll see.
Are there other job opportunities available?
We are hiring across the hospital. We're in growth mode, which means that we need people to help us take care of all the patients that we have. RNs, LPNs, patient care technicians. Our registration department has some needs, so the access folks that register patients and make appointments, we've got openings there. So I would encourage anybody to go online and look at our website to see what's available, because we are, I would call it a hiring blitz, if you will, to take care of the patients that we have.
Is a college degree necessary for most jobs that are available there?
Not every job requires a college degree. There are several departments that have openings that do not require a college degree. Registration would be a good example. We have fantastic folks in registration that help us safely register and organize our patients as they come in. And that's a difficult job, but it doesn't require a bachelor's degree. So we just require folks that are have good critical thinking skills and are good with patients and good with customers. And are nice people. That's what we're looking for.
And one of the things about a hospital is it's a 24/7, 365-day operation, 366 for leap year. Somebody's got to be there all the time, which makes it, I think, a little more complex, to say the least.
Yeah, you got that right. You got that right. We like to say we take time off in the hospital. Everybody gets vacation time and we take time off, but I don't know anybody that works in a hospital that actually takes time off. We're always available and we're always making sure that things are moving forward. And I don't think I've taken a vacation in my entire career where I didn't work at least a little bit on vacation to make sure that things were happening and that we're continuing to do what we have to do.
Even if you manage to get out of town?
Even if I get out of town. Now, there was one time where I had absolutely zero cell phone service, and I think for a couple of days I avoided a few phone calls. But but that's part of healthcare. We signed up to take care of our community, and you can't just walk away from it.
Well, Jay, let me ask, what is Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital's vision and mission for the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I will tell you that we will become a regional medical center. We will draw from the east of here, and we will continue to grow our services so that people do not have to drive into Nashville. I think that you're finding every day that you get on the road and try to drive into Nashville, it is becoming more and more difficult to get there. And there,
no question about it.
That's right. There are reasons to go into Nashville for healthcare. Certainly, Vanderbilt Medical Center is a tertiary, quaternary hospital, level 1 trauma center. Some of the best minds in the world in healthcare work there. But that means that they are on the absolute bleeding edge of their license, which means they're at the top of their license, and they're taking care of people who travel from all over this country to receive care. And so there are going to be things that you don't need to drive into Nashville for, and we want to make sure that we're able to accommodate those needs and to provide Vanderbilt level quality for those services.
Well, when you get your initial things accomplished here that we've talked about this morning, and you're talking about a lot in the first year, well, surely there won't be as many changes or as much additional coming at such a fast pace. I'm thinking maybe there'd be a little time you slow down just a little.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're a fast growing community. We're a part of a tremendous organization that wants to continue to push the envelope. And I think that's what makes Vanderbilt Health great. They're pushing the envelope, and I think that we're going to continue to try to push the envelope because that makes us a better hospital.
Tracy, anything you want to add to what we said this morning? it's been quite a discussion here, really.
It has. I was just so thankful that Jay has time to come out and update our community and what's going on. But we do have a few events coming up in the next few weeks, so I wanted to mention those. We are having our bariatric support group next Tuesday, November the 26th at 6 p.m., and that is a regular meeting. We currently have it every other month, and it's going to be in the outpatient center, and that's at 6 p.m., bariatric support group. You can go on our website, vanderbiltwilsoncounty.com, and register for that event. We also will be having our volunteer group at the hospital has volunteer sales that benefit the volunteer auxiliary, and they use their funds to go back to hospital needs or just community needs throughout the hospital. And that is going to be on Monday, December 2nd and Tuesday, December 3rd. And that event will be in our community cares classroom. So lots of people that attend our events know how to get there, but it's easiest to enter through the North Tower entrance. But that is on Monday, December the 2nd, December the 3rd. And that's the Everything $6 sale.
Wow. It says here values up to 75% below retail.
Yes, just in
so
time.
You're talking about bargains.
Absolutely. And just in time for Christmas. You know, we all need stocking stuffers. We all need some little gifts. And we've been having the Everything $6 sale for several years now. They bring lots of great stuff. And like I said, this does benefit the volunteer auxiliary at our hospital. And they use the funds for many different needs throughout the community, especially in our hospital. So please come out and visit us.
Well, I'll try to hang on to this and mention it on the Tuesdays when you're not here.
Great.
As well as your bariatric support group.
Perfect.
But that about takes up our time this morning. But thank you very much for being with us. And Jay Hinesley, President, we thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy guy, but you spend 30 minutes here with us, and we thank you.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
All right. And Tracy, thank you for another great program, and we'll see you next time. That is part one of Coleman and Company. Keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's now 7:29. This update brought to you by Absolute Kubota and Rental Land Pride. Quality tractor implements including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty. Extremely durable and well built. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. A little bit of rain out here in some areas. There's a crash, Nolensville Pike at Brewer Drive that just occurred. Ellington Parkway at Ben Allen. They're trying to hurry and move that one out of your way. It's heavy down Ellington Parkway right now. Just busy out here. 65 making your way from Franklin into Brentwood. And a wreck there on 65 southbound. It's going to be just past Trinity Lane near the North Loop. Hey, get the lowest prices on most of your airline tickets. Smart Fares save you 70% off. Call 1-800-915-2644. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
It will be a cloudy start to your Tuesday here in Middle Tennessee. There may be a few peaks of sunshine through this afternoon. Overall, though, highs will be very seasonable for this time of year. We'll top out in the mid-50s. If you're going to be out and about this evening, skies will turn partly cloudy as we head through the overnight. Lows will dip into the mid-30s. That's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Nisa Lomax.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. We welcome you to part two. John Dozier's here to talk about Hearthside Senior Living.
Good morning, Coleman.
Morning to you.
Starting to sprinkle out there. It's like an hour.
Yeah.
Coming in the door.
Yeah. Well, it was just barely starting when I got out of the car, I think. But Into each life some rain.
That's right.
As we say.
That's right. Well, it's great to be here. I want to invite everybody out December 5th. I'll be talking about it for the next couple of weeks. We're having Christmas at Hearthside. It's our annual event where we have music and we have carolers and we have food and refreshments. We have just a lot of activity going on. We'll have vendors there at our clubhouse, but it's a community event. The Chamber of Commerce is going to have their business after hours there that night. So I think it's going to be a great event. This year we're opening up 6 of our homes. One of the reasons we do this is to allow people to go through many of our independent living homes, and
6 of the 28.
You're right. 6 of the 28 will be open, and last year we had 5 or 6, so these are 6 new ones. So I appreciate the residents. I appreciate the couples and the ladies down there opening up their homes. They decorate for Christmas, and people can really see the homes and how people use them, and it's a great event to showcase that. Coleman, when I give a tour, like today, usually I just give one home. I just go through one home because that's really, I don't want to disturb everybody. But this event allows us to open up 6 homes and allows people to see all different floor plans. We have the 3-bedroom floor plan, and then we have the 2-bedroom floor plan. So it gives a chance for people to see it. So that's December 5th, 5 to 7. And we invite everybody out. You'll see more advertisement about it, but I just wanted to mention it today.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know whether I said it, but you all know, if you're regular listeners, and if you're not a regular listener, Sean Dozier is Executive Director of Hearthside Senior Living, which is located at 215 Castle Heights Avenue North, right up there, just real close to City Hall.
Right in the middle of town. Close to the Senior Citizen Center, close to Jimmy Floyd, close to the Greenways. So it's an attractive piece of property, an attractive place to live.
Well, what about openings in assisted living?
We have one opening in the assisted living. So if you're interested in a small unit, we have a small unit available. And we may have a medium room opening up here pretty soon. But if you're interested, just stop by and see us. You can go on our website. You can see photos of our assisted living rooms and common areas, dining room, things like that. So just check us out on the website, or easier just stop by and take a tour.
Well, you have in these different, I guess, mostly done by newspapers now, but where people vote for who they like best. You've been voted best in Wilson County.
We have. Last year we were voted best assisted living. We appreciate that. It's been a long tradition since 1994. Hundreds of people have been served in that facility, that community, and we're proud of that. It's a ministry. It started in 1994 by a group from College Hills Church of Christ, and it continues as a ministry of that church, and we're proud to be associated with that. Although we have other denominations, of course, join us there, but it's a ministry first, and we continue to see it that way.
And you're still serving those meals for
$3. For those folks that are living in the independent living. Several folks came up yesterday. Several folks came up Friday for Fish Friday. So for $3, Coleman, you can't beat it.
Do some of them come for 3 meals?
No, they come for 2, mostly 2.
Yeah.
They skip breakfast and usually do lunch and dinner. And they get it to go, Several of them get it to go. We had a lady who's been under the weather, and I don't do this for everybody, Coleman, but I've been delivering down there, for $3. I get all I can get. So
good old Sean.
Yeah, I've been taking it to her, but don't tell anybody that. Don't tell anybody that.
All right, that's nice though.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
every once in a while.
They needed a little help, and you were able to do it. Okay,
that's right. But it's a great community, a great feel, and I just enjoy being there.
Well, I think it shows, and I think you even love coming out here on Tuesday. You may not love getting up that early.
Yeah, I do. I love seeing you and being a part of this family here. I see Susie every Monday at Kiwanis, and Tanya, and I get to see you on Tuesday.
And MJ.
Yeah.
And maybe Billy, if you stick your head
Yeah, I see Billy. I saw MJ yesterday. She was at Kiwanis. Kiwanis of Lebanon donated $5,000 to CASA, right, MJ? A great donation to CASA, and we were proud to make that donation. Of course, MJ is a part of the board there.
Well, if you're able to donate $5,000 from that club, y'all been doing
We've been doing pretty good. A lot of pancakes. A lot of pancakes we've sold over the years. So it was great to give it to an organization that deserves it.
Are you ready for today's Hearthside?
Yeah, let me say hello to Tammy Brewington. Tammy and I worked together for about 8 years at the Super Speedway. Rick and Tammy, she lives out there on Africa Road. I won't tell her exact address, but she's a great lady, and we enjoyed working together for all those years.
You seen her recently to
Yes.
be reminded that she listens?
She does listen, yes, absolutely.
Well, good.
Her and Rick both listen to the show.
Well, great. I think maybe the Hearthside Hello has even enhanced the people that listen to you each Tuesday.
Well, it increases your listenership because I tell people to listen because I'm going to say, hey, hello.
That's what we need. More friends like you.
No, I think people are waiting to hear Mike, actually. I think people are waiting to see what happened last night. So I think that's really what people are tuned in for.
No, they're waiting to see what he's going to say about the balls.
That's right. I do. I listen to that.
Well, anyway, Sean, when it's time for a helping hand, just remember Hearthside Senior Living. Remember Sean Dozier, Executive Director, and all the wonderful things they do for our community. And thanks for being with us. See you next time.
Have a good week.
All right,
Bye.
great. Well, that takes us to 21 and a half before the hour, and Mike Jennings is here, our county attorney, mayor of Watertown, and as I've said so many times, UT football fan extraordinaire. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And I probably got it in reverse order.
Oh, I don't know. Depends on the day, I guess.
Well, you gotta be happier about your Vols now than you were at the start of the season, or especially after the first 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, they are actually playing pretty decent football right now and seem to have bought into what the coach is selling.
Somebody pointed out to me yesterday, though, that their record last year was the same as it is this time.
It is.
And they lost the last 2 games last year.
They sure
and
did.
that it could happen again if they're not careful.
I've said since before the Kentucky game that we could win all 3 and we could lose all 3 or any combination.
Yeah.
But you never know. In our league, you know how tough it is in the SEC. It's tough.
Well, Missouri hasn't set the world on fire lately.
They haven't, but that tells me they're due. And so I hope it's not this week, but whoever they play the next
Poor
week.
Vanderbilt, if they had a quarterback, they might could score every once in a while. Can you believe they were ahead 14-3 against Kentucky and then didn't score anymore after the first quarter?
I read that. I didn't know. I wasn't keeping up with it.
I don't know what it is, but anyway, you don't want to talk about them. You hate them.
Well,
as
I've
team.
tempered over the years a little bit. I know you're not supposed to hate anybody, so I just say I strongly dislike them.
Hey,
And,
I've kind of mellowed in the same way.
Yeah, it's life too short to hate anybody.
Well, it's not the individuals, it's the team.
That's
or the
exactly
school.
right.
Okay.
I've known some people that play ball down there, know some that play baseball, and they're good people and do a lot of good things. I have my own personal reasons for feeling that way, and I think you'd understand, but I'm not going to share them.
I doubt we'd want you to share.
You probably would not. No.
But what I was watching, when was that? The Cleveland and Steeler game, the Brown. That's Thursday night when the guy takes a helmet and that got out of hand. That was awful.
Yeah, it was ugly. That looked like something off WWE or something. The wrestling that can't happen.
And that was we can't say this. That very unusual.
Very unusual, and I flashed back pretty quick there. Do you remember when Albert Hainsworth, former Vol, when he was playing for the Titans, stepped on somebody, and, cleated him? That happens accidentally all the time in the course of a game, but you can't just, while somebody's down, take your foot and stomp them.
Right.
And when he did that the other night, I thought, he's done at least for the year, and probably in my mind that's enough. If he is contrite and comes back and says it'll never happen again. He was a good football player in college. I saw him play. He was a good football player.
You've allegedly and reportedly gotten some great signees for your basketball team.
That's what I hear. 5 stars, if that means they're good, and that's supposed to mean they're good. But you never know till you get them there.
Was that guy Vanderbilt had last year 5-star that got hurt after about the 3rd game? He was. Yeah. So you never know.
That's right.
They can get hurt or they can not live up to their billing, but sometimes if they do, you've done a great day, had a great day.
And sometimes the commitment from high school to college changes so much as to how much time you have to put into it year round and all that stuff. And some kids get there and say, this ain't for me. There's a life out there besides what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So you never know. And like a football game, you never know how the ball will bounce or who will get hurt.
I got to ask you something here. A month ago, I wasn't here, and Larry Tomlinson filled in for me.
He did?
And I had written on the instructions for Larry down at the bottom, please do your best to leave just a little time to talk about what happened last night after y'all get through with your football. And I was trying to listen that day, and I couldn't. I just wondered how much sports y'all talked about. I never did go back and listen to the archives.
We probably didn't talk any more than you and I did. You know, a little bit at the start, as I recall. But now, you know, you and I have been doing this a lot of years, and they all run together. But I don't think we talked an exorbitant amount. I mean, they didn't. The management didn't call you in and say, you know, keep those guys off the air or anything.
No.
Okay, all right.
Like I said, I meant to go back and check it out, but I haven't done it yet. So I thought, well, I'll just ask you. But you had a meeting last night. I don't think there was a lot of headline news out of last night's county commission meeting.
I told the mayor last night we adjourned. I always write down what time we adjourned at 8:17, and I said, you know, we did a lot in an hour and 17 minutes, but most of it was pretty routine stuff that we go through, and I say that respectfully because we honored some people last night, and that was very special. But as far as something that would grab the headlines of the local paper or whatever, the closest thing we would have is that there's going to be a referendum on the increase in the sales tax in the March presidential primary. Mm-hmm. And so we approved that last night. And I was told last night that they want to write it up in such a way that it's shown that if the money is increased, it will go toward teacher raises. So. That's the way they wanted to word that. So I just did the resolution. It said approving the referendum. I did not put the purpose, so they added that in last night.
It's going to be another. Well, I think in talking to Mayor Hutto, he is convinced that had they been able to get started with the education process on the referendum earlier, that it might have passed. And it makes a good point there, because I remember on election night, well, when we do our first returns, they are the early voting. They're the people who voted early. And it was overwhelmingly defeated there. Then when the others began to come in, it got closer and closer and closer. People who voted on election day, a lot more of them voted for an increase in the tax than did in early voting, and which indicates that that a lot of people perhaps changed their mind between the time early voting ended and whenever election day came around.
Yeah, and there was a very compact period of time there where the county did some education about what it was going to go, and that seemed to have worked.
Yeah.
And so the thinking, I think, from Mayor Hutto and others is if we could have started the education process earlier, we might have turned this thing around.
And I think it is his intention to get this voted on as early as possible, which would have been last night, so that you got more time and get started earlier in the education process.
Yeah, he said last night that he was tentatively working with 4 different organizations that could provide education about what the sales tax increase would do. So I would say you would look for more of that. I'm just guessing, perhaps after Christmas.
Yeah.
You know.
What was there? Was that one unanimous?
It was unanimous.
It was.
Well, I think it was. Let me think here, Coleman. I write these things down if I can find it. Go ahead and let's keep talking. And
well, yeah, we'll look this up and take us a break here. We're maybe a little bit past time for that, but that's okay. We don't have to hit the network. It's just less time for me and you whenever we come back.
Well, I thought I laid it right on top. No, it was approved 25-0.
25, okay. A unanimous decision to let the people decide whether to have that or not.
That's right.
Okay, a break right here and more with Mike Jennings coming up here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:48. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup, up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. The Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. Checking on a crash that just occurred 40 westbound between the Wilson County line and OHB. Edmondson Pike, there at Eddington Circle. That's a 2-car collision south Nashville. It's busy out here where you would expect. 65 south here at Trinity Lane. Trying to move that wreck there at 65 south there at the 24 split up north. Hey, get the lowest prices on most of your airline tickets. Smart Fares save you 70% off. Call them today at 1-800-915-2644. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Right now is a great time to step up to Exmark, the Mowers Landscape Pros Trust 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand for as little as $2,699. Step up to the new Radius, the next great zero-radius turn mower from Exmark, or go all the way up to the Exmark Laser Z, the top of the line for zero-radius turn quality. See your local Exmark dealer for complete pricing and finance details and schedule a free demo today. Stop by Absolute Kubota at 1325 West Main in Lebanon or call 615-449-6171.
Vanderbilt Health is honored to announce the newest addition to our family of hospitals, Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital in Lebanon. This hospital will provide care for Wilson County residents with the goal of improving the health and well-being of our newest community. Hospitals are for healing, new life, and recovery. They're places of innovation and learning. At the end of the day, hospitals are all about one thing: community. Thank you for welcoming us into yours. Let's do great things together.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us, and our thanks to County Mayor Mike Jennings for spending time with us and for Mayor of Watertown as well. You wear a couple of hats, actually more, but that's enough. And you were mentioning how many times you'd sat here with me, and you were here on the very first program I ever did, and that's 1 hour I'll never forget. But you and County, I guess we called him County Executive then, Don Simpson and Bobby Jewell, who was mayor of Lebanon. One of the longest hours of my life.
Really?
Well, yes, because I had not been in radio for 2 or 3 years. It'd been a long time since I'd done an interview. We didn't have commercial breaks to go to. I think we might have stopped 2 or 3 times during the hour to let us get our breath or whatever. But we sat here, the 4 of us, around the table and talked for a whole hour. We didn't have news at the top, the 3 minutes at 7 like we do now. Yes, it was. When I got through, I was thinking, what have I gotten into? and now we've been doing it for over 20. It was 26 years in October.
Yeah.
It has been a success.
You and all
the people who come out here. Yeah. I've said many times, I've considered myself sort of like, you remember Ed Sullivan years ago on Sunday night?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Ed, you didn't turn your TV on to see Ed Sullivan. You turned it on to see who he had on.
The Beatles, a time or two.
Yeah, Beatles and Elvis or whatever. People turned on to see who I've got out here and what they're going to say.
Oh, I bet they're scared. I bet they're bothered this morning.
But it has been a great.
Yeah, it has, and it's a credit to.
You've been here nearly periodically, I guess, for the whole 26 years.
I probably missed a half a dozen in those when I was out of town.
Well, I wasn't talking about when you missed. I mean, you've been a regular.
Yeah, we have been. Yeah, and it by and large it's been good, and a lot of people do listen because people will say to me, "I heard you on the radio" or whatever. So. And I usually say, well, I hope I didn't say anything. and I tell everybody, and I think most people know this, but maybe they don't. This is live and unrehearsed. There's no kill switch. And,
that's right.
And I always tell them, my mother listens to this, so I have to be careful what I say. I have to be careful not to say anything ugly. She'll be calling in and let you know.
So. All right. For those who might have joined us during the break here, the county commission did pass unanimously to a resolution to have the sales tax referendum on the ballot in March.
That's
now,
right.
This is what election? This is
presidential preference primary.
Okay, and so it will be there, and you either vote yes or no as to whether you want to increase the sales tax by 0.25%,
a half
percent,
from 9 1/4 to 9 3/4.
9 1/4, 9 3/4, and then you did say that they added on that the money would go for teachers' raises.
Yes, it will. And I know also that they've got, and I know it didn't come up in the discussion of the sales tax, but we've got to look at in this next year's budget, as I understand it, funding opening the new Green Hills High School. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a pretty good chunk of money required to staff that and all of that. So it's there's definitely a need for the money, and it's not. I mean, that money is it's needed. Coleman, teachers need additional funds. Schools need additional funding to open that school, and this won't be the last one.
There were some people honored last night. Mayor Hutto mentioned them in his visit yesterday, but there's at least 4 that I think we ought to recognize this morning.
Yeah, we honored the late Gordon Bone last night with a resolution, and most of his family were there. His 2 brothers and his children, and I think he said a couple of grandchildren. That was very, very nice.
Well, I think most people know, but for those who don't know, Gordon Bone had an older brother named Dr. Robert Carver Bone. Well, both of them are older than him, actually. And Stratton Bone, former state legislator.
Yeah, it was good to see everybody last night. I didn't get a chance to speak to Dr. Bone, but I did to Stratton and to Howe and Miss Sue Ann. I apologize for that, but that was a good thing. We honored the Evergreen Floggers, and that was entertaining. They put on a little performance there, and as I told Mayor Hutto, they're not going to sneak up on anybody with those taps on their shoes. We honored the Watertown High School Lady Tiger volleyball team for finishing runner-up in state. First Watertown team to go that far. Now, we've had an individual win a state championship in track and field, I think, perhaps wrestling, I'm not sure. But as a team, they've gone further than anybody. And then
that's quite an accomplishment.
That is quite an accomplishment. And that is, they are coached by Brandy Holcomb, who is also on our city council in Watertown. Brandy does an excellent job with those girls, and those girls played hard. I saw them play all their matches in the state tournament. I did not, I saw them a couple of times during the year, but they play kind of at an odd time when it's hard for me to get off work. But they hustled, they played hard, and know a lot of them. They're good kids, good young ladies, I should say. And then we honored Dr. Wright last night, Dr. Donna Wright, for being the state superintendent of the year. So we had those four things going last night, so we started off on a good note. And it was good to see that last night. All those folks very deserving.
You had some other resolutions moving money around, I think.
We did.
That's kind of boring and routine.
Yeah.
If you've got some line items, some where you haven't spent, you got you're short on the other, you just move the money around within a budget, as I understand it.
It is, and then we had one where there are a couple of reserve accounts that, when you file something in court, a certain portion of the court cost goes into that reserve for a particular purpose, and from time to time, the clerk wants to move some of that money out so they can put it in their budget to spend it for that purpose. And we had one of those last night. We had a resolution approving an agreement with HCA Summit about transporting injured folks or whatever, and how we could bill Medicaid, and those things are very complicated. But they sent me an agreement to look at, and it's 14 pages long. And what are you doing? Well, they're going to pay. We're going to get paid for them. Well, obviously a lawyer wrote this, and. We had a couple other things. I forget exactly what, but I think we had a total of 11 resolutions last night.
Let me throw out something here. Like you said, we're live radio and unrehearsed, and you're not expecting this, but I think you are the attorney for 911.
I am, yes, sir.
I just wondered anything happening there. Everything's kind of been quiet. Last time I talked to the director and asked her if she wanted to come on, she said, "Well, nothing's changed," and I just wondered.
Yeah, we met the day after Veterans Day. We normally meet on that Monday, but in honor of Veterans Day, we moved it to Tuesday, and we accepted the low bid to do some renovation work down at the building there. It's with Stockton Construction here locally, and this is an approximate number, but it was about $460,000 or $470,000 worth of work that'll probably start fairly soon. In fact, on my email are some documents I've got to review as soon as I can sit down and do it. And so that has occurred within the last 2 weeks.
What kind of renovation?
Well, we're getting ready to upgrade on some equipment and do some stuff through the state of Tennessee. There'll be some reconfiguration of the office space down there. There'll be better and more extensive wiring and better phone trunk lines and that type of thing. And that's a very broad generalization, Coleman, because that is a very complicated area, and I don't understand it. I just know that we've done this board has done a super job over the years. We rarely have a legal issue, and so that thing runs smoothly down there, and looking forward to that. And the building's been there a while. It's time to do some repairs to it as well.
2 minutes to talk about what's happening in Watertown.
Well, I'll find out tonight, I guess. We got a city council meeting, but we do have some things going on. Coleman, one of the things I've told several people the last couple of weeks, you look at Watertown day to day and you think it's the same old Watertown, but you go back 3 years ago or 5 years ago and you see the things that are changing there. And we're beginning to see the growth and things. I did my newspaper article yesterday and I said, we've got 3 major projects going on right now. We've got a sewer rehab of I&I that's going to be probably a couple of $1 million. We've got a fundraising project to do the playground equipment at the park. And then we're working on the turntable. We've gotten, I've hired a grant writer to seek some pretty hefty grants to put that turntable in the ground and to put a park over there that is railroad affiliated or a railroad related historical type thing. Yeah. So we've got 3 things going on. I feel confident we can do them all. It's going to take some work. And, I just don't ever remember a time in Watertown where we were taking on so much. But it needs to be done. That turntable project offers a real opportunity for our community because it'll compete for tourism dollars, and people are going to want to see that steam engine come out into Watertown. They're going to want to see that, and they're going to see how that thing turns around and goes back to Nashville. And so we're hopeful that, it's going to take a little time, going to take a lot of money, but I'm optimistic we can get that done.
That's thinking about watching that take place. Because I guess once you've seen it. But still, a lot of people want to come and see how that does. And then maybe they'll spend a few dollars while they're there.
Oh, we'll find a way to help them do that if we can. I'm sure our merchants will find a way. People, when it started back in the late 80s when the train started coming there, people rode the train out, and then they saw Watertown, they began to come back on their own to visit, to shop, and some moved there. So I expect this to be a driver as well.
Well, real quickly, once you get this sewer done, any opportunity maybe to expand the city limits, or would you want to even?
Sewer is very expensive. We just got that one rock in Wilson County. It runs from one end to the other, and that's very, it's going to be difficult to do. The next step after that is going to be to renovate our sewer plant. Although I think if we do these improvements, that'll help our capacity, but we need to expand to get ready for the future.
Okay. Mike, thanks for being with us. See you next time. That's it for Tuesday. Join us tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a terrific day.